Okay, here's my latest TV acquisition. This is a Philco 17-inch set. It's model number 52-T1802, circa 1952. Just picked this set up yesterday, and it's in very good shape. Had the original knobs on, off, horizontal and vertical, and you can see all the lettering on the front. Still in fine shape. Contrast and brightness, and then the channel clunk and fine tuning. These are actually brass. Can't tell that now, but after I clean these up and get some brasso on those will be nice and shiny. Also has these brass edges that hold the safety glass to the screen on. Those will clean up really well. Alright, really excited to have this set for a couple reasons. First of all, I have some other videos out on this. This is a 1952 52-2151 that is the exact same set, or the exact same chassis I should say. You can see here this fine tuning knob that I've already cleaned. That's exactly what the other one will look like. You might notice that the channel clunker on this is not original. So now that I have an original, I know what exactly to look for. Hopefully I can find one of those for this set. And then the chassis, as I said, is exactly identical. And I've just recently restored the chassis in this set, so hopefully it'll make things much smoother when I work on the other set. Had this chassis out as this cabinet's getting ready to be restored. This is the infamous Philco split chassis series, and this is the right side of the chassis, and this is what they called the power chassis or the sweep chassis, which contains the vertical, horizontal oscillators, high voltage. And then the left side of the chassis is called an RF71. This is it here. This contains the tuner and the IF strip and the sound. So that's basically how they design these split chassis sets. They're really easy to work on, and they make a great picture when they're operating correctly. So I know I had sworn off acquiring any more Philco split chassis. The only problem that I have with them is in regards to alignment, or actually bench testing the chassis. I'm sure back in the day, I know that they had cables that would interconnect between the chassis so you could put them out on the bench. And then using probably a test CRT, you could connect it all and have the chassis in position where you could work on the underside while it was operating. And since I don't have those types of cables, makes it very difficult to do any testing with the chassis out of the set. But oh well. The cabinet, it looks like it's Bakelite, but it's not. It's actually a metal cabinet. Okay, it's a pretty heavy set, but that's mainly because it's not a series strung set. It has a power transformer, and that combined with the picture tube and this metal cabinet make it pretty heavy for a tabletop set. It's in pretty good shape. It's just dull from being 60-some years old. So I'll probably look at maybe painting this set. Not sure yet. I have to think that one through. Might try buffing on this a little bit and putting some clear coat on it maybe, and see if that brings it back to life. I'm just not sure yet. That's quite a ways down the road. But on the inside, just like the other chassis I showed you, RF71 This is the A version, run 13. There you go, the tuner, IF. Looks like we've got all the tubes except for one. It goes here. I just pulled this one out a while ago. This tube looks a little tired. It's a 6v6. Thankfully I have a bunch of these, but that almost looks like it's went to gas. Missing one tube there. That is not a tube, that is a test point socket. A little bit of rust on those tube shields back there. Not too bad on the chassis, but all that can be taken care of very easily, cleaned up. Here's the tube chart. So as you can see, model 52T. Oh, come on, camera. Let's focus in on that. There we go. 1802. The tube chart for both chassis. And this is the Power G1 chassis. Uses the 17 JP4 picture tube. Here's all the controls. Horizontal oscillator frequency. If I remember right, I think this is width, height, and vertical linearity are the controls here. This is the inside of the high voltage cage. Not too bad. A little dirty. That'll clean up fine. With the rectifier and high voltage or horizontal output tube up there. Flyback is back behind here. I don't know if we can sneak a peek at that or not. And there's a peek at the chassis. See that power transformer back behind here. That's back there. Horizontal, vertical output transformers. It uses two 6SN7s for horizontal and vertical oscillator. This is I think a 6v6 or 6v3 damper right here. And it's got the selenium rectifiers in it. I have to check those over. And then the picture tube, oddly enough, is a Zenith picture tube, and this tube looks fairly new. It's a 17 JP4 Zenith picture tube. I've never seen a Zenith picture tube in a Philco TV, but obviously I think this one is a replacement. Probably the original picture tube went out and someone decided to salvage the set and put a new picture tube in it. So I've got my Syncor CR71 out, and we're going to check this tube. I have full sneaking suspicion that this tube is going to test very, very well. It looks in very good shape, very new, and again, by new, probably replaced sometime in the 70s. And it probably is going to test very, very well, but we shall see here in just a second. There is the speaker, a little probably 6 to 7 inch speaker. Pretty good sized speaker though for a tabletop TV. Okay, let's get on with the testing of the picture tube. Let's get this filament set. 6.3. me see here, make sure. 17 JP4, yeah, I'm looking for that negative bias. It's at 36. Okay, so we're set there. Get this cooking right at 6.3. And turn the light up. Oh yeah, I got a good filament glow in there. Okay. Yeah, it appears to be in really good shape. So let's check for shorts. Good. G1 shorts, good. Cutoff. Wow. Great cutoff response. And emission. Oh yeah, well into the good. Well into the good. Now let's see what the life test does. Wow. No, it didn't even move. Didn't even move. That tube has probably low hours on it. So get this chassis restored and operating right. That tube should last for a long time. I haven't had one test this good ever, unless it was in a brand new TV. So, as I suspected, that tube tests really well. So, first order of business is to pull the chassis and get it cleaned up. Oh boy, looky there. Look at there, everybody. Good old cancer-causing asbestos. Ooh, even more right there. Ooh. Even flaked. Wow. That sucks. Look at that. Definitely don't want to crumble that up and snort it. Goes all the way down the side here. It's on there rock solid too. Okay, well, that's something to contend with. There's those of you that have restored radios, old radios, have no doubt run into asbestos before. This is my first television that I ran into asbestos. What it's used for is this actual chassis here runs pretty darn hot, and it's put here as a heat blocker to the outside of this set so that no one would walk up theoretically and it'd get so hot that it could actually burn you. The same thing up here, just the heat in principle rising, and the top that's up there for the top of the set. Boy, there's more breaking off up there too. Look at that. That's nasty crap right there. But anyway, it was used as a heat blocker. And of course, back in 1952, they weren't aware of the health hazard of asbestos, which is really a naturally occurring element. I think it's basically just rock, but particles of it. The actual material in and of itself is not harmful to you. You can touch it. You could probably lick it. It wouldn't hurt you. What actually hurts you is these little bitty pieces of it that flake off and get in the air, and then they are breathed in. They can be breathed in and attached to your lung, and then what is it, mesothelioma cancer, a couple of different cancers that are definitely found to have been caused by this nasty stuff. So there's a couple different ways you can deal with it. Everybody has their opinion on how to deal with it, but one is to mask yourself up, get everything out of here, mask yourself up, outside, downwind, with a vacuum, without a vacuum, bust that stuff up, double bag it, throw it away. And then definitely shower, clean yourself up afterward. Then there's also another method to where you can basically just neutralize it, and that is to, I forget the type of glue that there is that a lot of guys use. There's a few different glues, but there's a specific kind, and I'm sorry it's not on the top of my head right now, and you can mix it with acetane and mix that concoction up and basically just pour it on it and paint it, and it hardens, and it basically renders the asbestos, for lack of a better term, neutral, to where it can't flake, to where it can't cause any problems, and theoretically makes it safe to even have this in your home. So I don't know, I'll have to weigh this over. I don't like the idea of it, period, in any of my electronics. But if it's neutralized, I'm not so concerned about it. But the other thing about this set is I don't have a back for it, so that's definitely something I'm going to contend with right off the bat. That stuff is really glued on there, so it'll be a challenge getting it out without busting it up and making all kinds of dust debris. Definitely want to have a good quality mask on while doing it. Not one of those little 25-cent paper masks, a really, really good mask. I got a couple boys in the military. They've got a few of those gas masks that are A1 rated against chemical warfare. That'd be the kind of outfit I would wear while messing with this stuff. Yeah, that's just fantastic. Well, anyway, what are you going to do? So the good news is that's a really great picture tube, and it appears that this chassis is in really, really good condition, and probably put this one in line for a restoration project very soon. Okay, hope you enjoyed the first look at my Philco 52-1802.